this picture, you're going to use the masking tape to tape around your watercolor paper first. And then you're going to use the pencil very gently to make the shapes. When you do this kind of realistic watercolors, it's better to having like very details pencil lines, outlines, but very gently, not too dark. So you can use the HB pencils is better. And I will put the outline drawing at the end of this thing so you guys can see the outline of how it looks like. Maybe a few minutes later you will see the whole picture of the outlines. There's a lot of leaves. You don't have to be exactly like mine, but just try your best to do as more as you can. And you can see there's a lot of those little very short and very thin those leaves, like the top of the leaves. You need to leave those space. There's a lot of details in this picture. Just try your best to copy the outlines first. I have this outline picture after this pencil line showing, so you can pause it later and then just try to finish the outlines. You can pause in here. When you finish the outline, you want to erase the lines you don't need. Make the outline very simple and very clean, and then you can start using watercolors now. We start with the first pear in the center first. So you can slowly blending colors from the edges to inside, because you will need to having the shapes very gently around um, first. So you want to keep the outlines very clean. And also this pears is darker from the outside. Inside has the highlights, so you can just coloring a little bit darker the outlines. Be very gentle to do the lines, to do the outlines. And also for these pears, they have a little bit green colors, but we want to do slowly adding more and more colors. But when you're slowly adding colors, be very gentle. You don't want to break your paper. So you want to use your brush very gently, because sometimes they will have a lot of those paper dust coming out from your paper. So you don't want that things happen. And always using like another clean brush to blend your colors. You really will need to have two brushes holding inside your hands. It's easier to blend colors. We're going to slowly add in darker and darker. But if you're confident enough, you can actually add in darker color in the beginning. On the bottom has some like orange colors, red orange, and some brown colors. We're slowly adding it. But you can see in the center, this oval shape I saved clean. I saved a little bit white part. Don't color that part, because you will see in the final picture they have like a black dot in there. We're going to add that one at the end. And under the leaves, you will see that we're going to add in some shadowing using the orange color, some dark green colors. Right now, we're just adding the first layer of the color. Be very patient and gentle. We can keep fixing it. When it's dry, we're going to add the second layers. You can see we're slowly adding more and more darker green colors on the side of the pear. It's very important to control your water. Don't get your paper too wet. And be very gentle to your paper. You don't want to get a lot of those little dust. We're just slowly adding more and more. Sometimes you feel like if it's too wet, it's too difficult to blend, you can use the way like a tap tap. Yeah, don't use brush too much. Just tap tap some colors on the areas you need. Now we're going to move to the second pair. The first one's still not finished yet. Just wait to dry. We're going to add in some details, more colors later. Same way like you did the first one. The side, from the edges to inside, from dark to light. From a yellow color, adding more green color, adding some orange colors later. Now we're gonna do the leaves. You can see the first time I did that leaves, the color is not correct color, but it's okay. We're slowly adding, mixing colors. You will see the colors is really dark green. You won't be able to find that color inside your color pad. And then you can actually mix colors, like dark green mix a little bit blue color, mix a little bit brown colors. And also you can see some of them will leave the white lines in the middle of the leaves. You will need to be very careful. Try to leave that area white. We're slowly adding to different light greens and then some yellow colors on the edges. When it's dry, maybe the color won't be too dark, but when it's dry, we can come back to do the color again. Right now, we just want to generally to finish all the colors first for the first layer. For one leaves, most of this picture, most of the leaves in this picture has like dark green, and another side is light green. So you need to find like that colors. And if you're using the same color, just remember what color you use to mix that color, because you may need to repeating the same colors for many leaves because they will have the same shadings. A little bit different is okay. We try to be very gently to adding colors. When you need darker colors, adding very dark green, the darkest green you have, adding some dark blue colors, adding some um, brown colors. It can mix like a really beautiful dark green colors. Usually we don't use black to blend because black is kind of like the color makes your paper looks like a little bit more messy. That's why we don't use black to blend colors. But sometimes in some situations you can use a little bit black to make that color very dark. But in the beginning when you are practicing, we don't use black. You can use like a really dark green color, really dark blue colors to mix with your green colors. That's how we can turn that color really dark. The color from dark to light, you can add in like lighter colors or add using a little bit water to make it lighter. But still remember, control your brush, control the water. When you're also coloring, try to color around the edges first. You can see that I leave the edges a little bit white lines around the leaves. Try your best to leave that little thin white lines. This picture is a pretty difficult, so just try your best to follow the instructions. Just try to practice blending colors. You can see this one too. I leave a little bit white lines on the edges, and also in the middle of the white lines I also leave it. So that's why you started with the edges first and then blended the colors inside. Slowly adding darker and darker colors. From this part, so I'm changing the camera view to the side, so maybe will be more details later. So you can see we're still blending the colors for the leaves. You can see each leaves has dark green, light green. I'm gonna mix different colors. Start with the edges. I use blue color, green colors. Just try your best to finish um, the whole area, all the leaves first. I didn't leave too much details yet. You can still see so many whites and the water spots. That's okay because when it's dry, we can add the second layers and fix them nicely. This picture also takes me a long time, maybe around 3.5 hours to finish the whole thing. So you may need to finish it longer time. So just take your time. From here, we're going to start making those pears darker now. We're still using the same color, but you will see I add a stronger paint on those painting now. The bottom color is like a dark green, like a little bit green colors. You're going to slowly mixing the colors. They have like a little bit orange colors, green colors. It's okay if you add a color too dark because you can always try fix it using some water and using some lighter paint. So don't worry if you make any mistakes. If you make like a really big mistakes to uh, very very difficult to remove. So get a clean brush. Try to use clean water to gently to wet that part, and use the clean napkin to press it down and lift it up. It will fix it slowly. Now is the branch part. This part I forgot to record. I thought I was recording, but you can see the color. I use a little bit light purple with blue and use the brown color and yellow colors to do the branch. The branch also has like a dark to light. You slowly adding darker colors, but you don't want to make the tree branch too smoothly. That's why we always do tap tap, adding some textures. There's like a stop in the middle, but don't make like a really smooth lines because the tree has a lot of textures. You don't want to make the tree too smoothly. Now we're gonna slowly adding some details for each leaves now. They have a lot of veins and also a lot of shadowings, highlights for each leaves. You see, when we adding those veins, I add one by one and slowly blend it inside the leaves. They have dark color to light colors. You don't just want to add the veins, a lot of veins without having the shadowings. You want to blend each one of the line inside your leaves, have dark color to light colors. When you want to make a lighter color, use a clean brush with water, a little bit water, make a little bit dry, not too much water, but a clean brush to take away that colors from the paint and just wash. You can wash that part so that part can be lighter colors or white colors. For the tip of the for each leaves has like those little brown area. You're gonna adding a little bit of yellow, light yellow brown colors, and then making some yellow the brown dot for the leaves. And then we're gonna move to other leaves. That one's like a back of the leaves is lighter colors, and they have like a dark to light. A little bit blurry here, but it's okay. Next time we'll try to be careful and not making the color too blurry. You can see the back of the leaves. The back of the leaves is really dark, so you always want to try to make dark to light. But maybe first layer is not that dark enough. You can come back with darker colors when it's dry. We're still doing the leaves. Try to do from dark to light colors. Now we're gonna slowly adding more details for each leaves. I didn't record the whole thing because you will see the final picture. You guys can copy that picture. Use the same way I did before. They will have dark color, light color doing the veins. In this picture, in this thing, we use the water to wash the leaves to make a lighter color. You can see that. So this is the areas we use the clean brush with a little bit of water to wash the colors, and I use the clean napkin to tap it. You can see the white lines coming out. So if you need any colors, like the veins is like lighter colors, you can use that way. Remember, it's a clean brush with a little bit of water so you can wash that part. And I use the clean napkin to tap. Now we're going to add in a little bit darker colors for each vein. Just make them a little bit darker for the lines. And then you can blend the colors later. So for this area, we do it really quickly to do the first layers. You will see later the first layer is really light. We're going to add 2 layers to adding the background darker and smoother. You can see the background is has a lot of water lines and very light color, right? But it's okay. We're gonna add second layers now. When we finish, you're gonna peel away the tape, and you will see the whole picture, and you still need to fix it, adding more details in your picture. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So you can pause over here. This picture has a lot of details. So you can pause to see the picture and zoom it in, and you can see a lot of details. You can fix it all by yourself.